Hi everybody, this is Miss S from Excelsior Charter School, and today we're going to be covering Geometry, Quarter 1, Quiz number 4. And like all the quizzes, I've changed the values so that it's not the exact same question, but it will help you answer them. So let's go ahead and get started with question number 1. They have given us this figure here, and they're asking us to select which one of these are correct. So angles 4 and angle 6 is where they're beginning, and they want to know if they're alternate interior. Remember, interior means in between the two parallel lines. And remember, alternate means on opposite sides of this red transversal right here. So those two would both be on the right-hand side, therefore they are not alternate interior. They are interior, but not alternate interior. In fact, they are same side interior, like the second one here says. All right, let's take a look at the third one here. Angles 1 and angles 3 are alternate exterior. So they are both on the left-hand side of this yellow transversal here. And the number 1 is exterior and number 3 is interior. So this one is definitely not correct. All right, let's try the next one. Angles 2 and angle 7. Well, they're both outside of the parallel lines on the exterior here. So exterior, exterior. So we know that part is correct. So now the question is, are they on the same side of this red transversal or on alternate sides of the red transversal? The 2 is on the right, the 7 is on the left. So that makes this one accurate, the alternate exterior accurate, and same side exterior is inaccurate. All right, now we're going to do this last one here, angles 3 and angle 6. Well, they're both interior here, and it wants to know if they're corresponding. Remember, corresponding always has one interior and one exterior. So this one is also not correct. And that's how you do the first question. For our second question, it says that line M is parallel to line L, so we can put the little arrows there if we wanted to. They want to know what the measure of angle 1 is if angle 8 is 112. So if 8 is 112, then 6 is 112 because it's a vertical angle. If 6 is 112, 4 is 112 because it is alternate interior to 6 and corresponding to 8. And then 2 is also 112 because it's vertical to 4, corresponding to 6, and alternate exterior to 8. So 2, 4, 6, and 8 are all 112. To find angle 7 from angle 8, you simply subtract 112 from 180 because 7 and 8, remember, form a solid line. So angle 7 would be 78. And because angle 7 is 78, angle 5 is also 78. They're vertical. Angle 3 is also 78 because it's alternate interior to 5 and corresponding to 7. And angle 1 is also 78 because it's vertical to 3, corresponding to 5, and alternate exterior to 7. So the answer is 78. For this next question, it says when a transversal intersects a pair of parallel lines, it will create two pairs of same side interior angles. Sam claims the angles within each pair are congruent to each other, but not to either angle in the other pair. So we want to choose if each image supports or refutes his claim, or if it does neither. So according to what we know, same side interior angles should add up to 180. So Sam's claim is not going to be correct except for if both of those angles are 90 degrees. So if this one is 90 and this one is 90, then they would definitely be congruent to each other. However, they would also have to be congruent to the other pair. So this one and this one are definitely not going to be equal. So that refutes his claim. This one and this one would definitely not be equal. So that refutes his claim. This one's the closest, but it actually refutes his claim either because they would be equal to the other pair. And then the fourth one down here on the bottom actually is neither because there's no transversal whatsoever. So for this particular claim, 3 of them would be refuted and 1 would be neither. All right, we're assuming that lines that appear parallel are parallel, so that would be this one here and this one there. What is the value of x if angle 2 is 3x plus 62 and angle 6 is 7x plus 47? 2 and 6 are corresponding angles. That makes them congruent. So we can set up our equation as though each of those two angles is congruent to each other. And then you can solve it with algebra, just like I did here, to get x equals 3 3/4, or 3.75. All right, our next question is actually for the next two questions on your quiz. It says, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then what kind of angles are congruent and what kind of angles are supplementary? So hopefully you have been paying attention throughout these lessons, and you will know that all corresponding angles are always congruent, and all alternate angles are always congruent, and all same side angles are always supplementary. So whether or not they're alternate interior or alternate exterior, all alternates are congruent, and whether they're same side interior or same side exterior, all same sides are supplementary. All right, they give us this figure here for the next question. They ask us to solve for angle x. So to do so, I'm going to start with this angle 30 right here. And I know that these two lines are parallel. It tells me that they are. So that makes it this angle right here also 30 because they're corresponding. So then these three angles right here add up to 180 degrees because they make a line. So I've added them all together to equal 180, and then I've simplified to get the angle I don't know is 45 degrees. So this one right in here is 45 degrees. And x and that angle are vertical angles, which means they're congruent. So x equals 45 degrees. All right. So this question wants to know which lines are parallel and why. So they've given us angle 1 and angle 2 here. And if you notice, they're both interior to A and B. So that's the one I'm going to work on. So I'm going to say that A is parallel to B because angle 1 and angle 2 are on the same side, the left-hand side of this transversal, and they're both interior. So these are same side interior angles. We know they add up to 180 degrees, just like they've given us, and we know that same side interiors add up to 180. So that's the correct answer. For our next question here, they tell us the measure of angle 6 is 8x, and they tell us the measure of angle 2 is 112. Well, angle 6 and angle 2 are corresponding angles, so that means that they are congruent. So we can set this equation up just like this and make them equal to each other. And when you take 112 and divide it by 8, what you get is 14. So x equals 14. And for our last question here, it says that line E is parallel to line F. So I'm going to go ahead and make the little arrow marks here. And line G is perpendicular to line F, which means that angles 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all 90 degrees. But they're asking us here for angle 3. Well, we learned in our theorems that if you have two parallel lines and we have a transversal that's perpendicular to one of those parallel lines, it is also perpendicular to the other, making angles 1, 2, 3, and 4 also 90 degrees. Good luck, everybody. Hope you guys do great.